Yo, 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 what's up, man? Everybody, it's your boy A Reed, man, the musicologist. Sitting here chilling for MCXP Radio on the BGSC network. Y'all know what it is. Today is who's hot and who's not. The contenders and the pretenders, everything that's going on in the first quarter of the NFL season. We've already went through the first 4 weeks. It's time to talk about it. All right, man. So let's get into it. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Swagger pimp, yeah. Can't now another nigga like me. Yeah. Okay, it goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rockin'. It's time for hip hop. On they reach watch, no sir, not for show. No bars made up for fairy tales. I'm trying for a tragedy, I know it well. So put your hands up in the air just for the winners. A peace sign of pimps, the prostitutes, the sinners. We all deserve a second chance, but we products of illusion and victims of our own circumstance. Apply the pressure, I bet you can. Live the life that you love, shout out to Rand. Love the life that you live, shout out again. It ain't a tough pill to swallow once you comprehend.
Hello and welcome to MCXP Radio here on the BGSC network. I am your host, musicologist, man. A Reed, sitting here chilling. You are now in tune and are inside the MCXP Radio studio. You are chilling with me here on the Monday Man Cave. Appreciate everybody that has been checking us out, man. The whole network and everything like that, man. Joining us, logging in, subscribing, liking, putting your comments, man. Love it, man. I try to get to you guys every week, man, but I do get busy. I do have a 1 year old, so I do apologize, man. But just bear with me. I'm always gonna somehow give you content to say. If I miss a week, damn sure gonna make sure I'm gonna get it to you next week. But let's get into this business. It is the first quarter of the NFL season. When I say the first quarter, I was breaking down in 4 quarters, 4 weeks. You get to know you got the first quarter, second quarter, third, fourth. We've already went through the first 4 weeks, pretty much, while we got Seattle and the New York Giants playing right now, but they about to end, you know. So where are your teams faring at this point? I always said it, and I've said it on my last show. It takes about the first 4, maybe 5 weeks to really get your identity, to understand what your team is really doing, how the team is processing, how everything is going on. So with seeing how all these teams have came about these first 4 weeks, you can start to see who's trying to separate themselves from the pack. Who's looking good, who's not, not doing too well. Leaving some head scratches and everything like that, man. But we're just gonna talk about it real quick, get into it, man. And if you guys got comments, please leave me comments. I'll make sure and read them. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in, everybody that's logging in, watching it. It's all good, man. So, like I said, you're kicking it in the man cave with me, your host, A Reed, man. You can follow me right there on the A Reed TV, and you can also follow MCXP Radio right there. There's Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. So. So let's get into it because I already know that a lot of people want to know who my contenders are. Well, my contenders are the people that really got the best records right now in these first 4 weeks. And let's talk to it right now. Here we go. So as you can see, I'm scrolling, having to scroll down my contenders right now. We look at the Philadelphia Eagles 4-0. Uh I mean, shit, they still find ways to win, man. Still find ways to win. Even though they did have a scare this last Sunday, Washington almost came back and beat them. The game went into overtime, but shout out to the Washington Commanders who really played their asses off to try to get that game, try to steal a win from that team. But what can you say? Excuse me, what can you say? Um, the coach has Philadelphia playing ball. Of course, there's always some things that you gotta maneuver around and, some kinks that you got to work out. But as you can see, these guys are undefeated. Same as San Francisco. They're undefeated right now. And can you believe that Brock Purdy, who they called Mr. Irrelevant once he got drafted, he is now leading his team to a 4-0 start. Brock Purdy is, and I hate to say it, man, Brock Purdy is actually the truth, man. He's the truth. He is that quarterback over there in San Francisco. I doubted it at first, of course. I mean, I think any normal person would have doubted it at first, but to see what Brock Purdy is doing, you gotta tip your hat off to him, man. You gotta give him a good salute, man. Good job, good job. And seeing how Brock Purdy is playing right now makes you wonder if he didn't get hurt last season with 49ers, with the 49ers that went to the Super Bowl instead of the Philadelphia Eagles. Once he went down, I mean, I mean, the game was pretty much done. I think we all said that. So, let's see if Purdy can take these guys on up to the promised land. But like I said, you got Philly right now who's 4-0. You got San Francisco who's 4-0. You got the Buffalo Bills, man. God damn. Buffalo Bills. Have they turned over the new leaf finally? Is Josh Allen really going to be the Josh Allen that everybody expects him to be? Or is this going to be how Josh Allen always does? Not denying his talent and everything like that, but we have seen this before that Josh Allen leads that team, leads that Buffalo Bills team, and takes them as far as he can over there into the playoffs. And once he gets to the playoffs, he just has the most horrible games ever. Um, He is on the cover of this new Madden, so usually people say it's a Madden curse. I don't want to curse him. I want to see Josh Allen do good. I would love to actually see Buffalo finally get their hands on the championship. Remember, they went to four straight championships, and lost every single one of them. So that's got to hurt as a franchise. And you want to see, and hopefully, maybe see them guys win it at some point in time. Now, the question is Josh Allen going to be that guy to get them over the hump? And I guess we just got to wait and see. But what they're doing right now, hey, they playing some good ball. They took it to Miami. They took it to Miami, man. They really did. They did their job, man. And punched Miami in the mouth, and that was really a statement win. Really, really, really much a statement win. So, shout out to Buffalo. Maybe all you Bills Mafia fans, maybe you finally got something this year. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, it's just the first quarter, but I know you guys are amped up and jumping through tables and all sorts of shit that y'all do. You also got the Miami Dolphins. Would I say necessarily a surprise? I say this about Miami. I knew Miami had a potent offense. I knew that they had a good quarterback in Tua. They've got the weapons with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you know. But my only concern with Miami is Tua's health. This is always going to boil down to Tua's health. If Tua Tagovailoa can stay healthy, Miami has a definitive shot. Personally, I feel like they have a definitive shot in the AFC. But it really, really, truly depends on his health, man. That boy has taken too many hits, had a lot of concussions, and it makes you kind of wonder. It just makes you kind of wonder. So, if Tua can stay healthy, I think that personally, Miami can possibly do some damage if he stays healthy. Mark my words, man. I don't want to see no athlete get hurt. I always want to see these guys finish, their seasons out, healthy and everything like that. But you know what kind of sport this is, man. You know what kind of sport. You also got the Kansas City Chiefs, 3-1, man. Look, a lot of hype over the Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes, Travis Kelsey. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't care about Travis Kelsey dating Taylor Swift. Good for you. This is football, bro. This is football. That's all I care about. I just seen the thing with Kansas City, that game that they had against the Jets, man. There was a very, very controversial holding call. That I think that was there towards the end of that game, man. Then that old lineman was holding number 11 and just holding the crap out of him. And no flags were called, nothing like that. And I believe Patrick Mahomes was able to run up a good 20, 25, damn near 30 yards up the field. Um, y'all got to call that stuff down the middle, man. Got to call it down the middle. I'm not saying that Kansas City gets a lot. I'm not saying that you know, they got the refs in their pocket. I ain't gonna say all of that, but you want to see fair games. You do want to see fair games. And for what I saw on that play, that should have been a holding call. It should have been a penalty. Flag should have been thrown, but it wasn't. But there's neither here nor there. That game is over. Kansas City won the game, so it is what it is. But you always have to respect Kansas City. You got to respect Patrick Mahomes. You got to respect Andy Reid for what those guys are doing in Kansas City. Hey, they're doing what they do. So, you always got to put them in the mix when it comes to contenders. Number six over there, as you can see, you got the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are 3-1 right now ahead in the AFC North. Um, Good job, Lamar. Good job, Lamar. I'm guessing that whatever that they did to feng shui the offense for him has somehow worked. It has somehow worked. I still say that he's the most dangerous QB when it comes to running, getting in the free lanes and stuff like that. He's one hell of a guy to spy, to look at, to try to game plan against. So he can be a tough. He can definitely be a tough quarterback to play. Um, Still in that retrospect, um, it's Baltimore, man. Um, they've had their good times. Um, in past seasons, the season ain't just been all hunky dory, ain't been peachy clean. But right now they're sitting on top of the AFC North. I'm expecting them to possibly make noise. I can't necessarily. I put them in the contenders ring simply because of their record being 3-1. I want to see if they can continue to keep this up and going. Okay, if they can keep it up and going, and possibly be a threat, I want to say here by November, December, we may be talking something different. So let's see, man, let's see. And last but not least, man, in my contenders pile is the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to my man Jay Stocks. I know he's happy. 3-1. I know they should be 4-0. Honestly, they kind of fumbled the ball against the Arizona Cardinals in that game. But hey, man, Dallas has one hell of a defense, man. Probably the number one defense in the league right now. Tough team, tough team, tough team. I think it predicates a lot on not only that defense, but of course it's going to have to predicate on the quarterback play of Dak. And I'm one of those people, man, that actually has faith in Dak. Okay, I believe that Dak can somehow take this team over the top. They just seem to always they reach that wall. It seems like they reach that wall every year, man. They just can't get over that hump with San Francisco. They'll be playing San Francisco, I believe, this next week. So that'll be an interesting game to see. If anybody who's anybody, y'all need to watch that game because that's really going to tell a big tale of how well Dallas is playing and just how well San Francisco is playing. You know, but you got to give the Cowboys their credit. You got to give the Cowboys their due. That's one hell of a defense. That's a defense that a lot of teams don't want to play right now. Michael Parsons, everybody that's out there on that defense is, I mean, they hawking the ball, getting sacks, rushing the quarterback, stopping the run. I mean, they doing a hell of a lot of things, man. So you really got to tip your hat off to the Dallas Cowboys. So shout out to them. Okay. And those seven teams right now in this first quarter of the NFL season, the first 4 weeks, are my contenders. Now, if you got contenders, you gotta have pretenders. You got who's hot. You gotta have who's not. And these are my pretenders. And don't get mad. Right now, I know the Detroit Lions are 3-1. I'm calling them pretenders because I feel like they are just maybe a year or two off. Okay. Um, I think honestly, I'm low key rooting for Detroit because they are a very feel good story, very feel good team. Um, that coach has rejuvenized that franchise. He's got players that want to play for him. He's got guys out there that really want to put it on the line for that Detroit Lions franchise. You got Jared Goff back there, man, who more seriously has turned his career around, and you never would have thought that it'd be in Detroit, but he did it in Detroit. Um, you want to see that franchise do good. I just feel like they're just maybe a step or two away from getting to where they need to be. I really would like to see Detroit become a major contender in these next few years in the NFC. Put some of these other teams on notice and let them know that they here to play ball, that they serious. It'd be a good thing to see. Not definitely just for ratings, but definitely just for that city and for the franchise in a whole, man. So I'm not necessarily saying that they can't be contenders. I'm just saying as far as they're my pretenders because I feel like they still have work to do, and that's just it. But I'm rooting for Detroit. Okay, I think I also put Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay down there, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Predicates, man, a lot to me. This predicates a lot on the success of Baker Mayfield, who has been playing quite good. Shout out to Big Game, man. He's a Buccaneers fan, ex-Buccaneer. Um, Tampa Bay putting in some work, you know, but it's still early in the season, man. And those guys are what 3-1 right now. Let's see the rest of their schedule. Let's see what they can possibly do. I don't have tremendous faith in Baker Mayfield, and I still feel like that squad is still missing some nice internal pieces. I know you got who is it? Was it Mike Williams? I believe that's his name for the wide receiver. Um, I still feel like, man, Tampa just needs some more. They need some more pieces that they can build around um, Baker. And then again, you don't even know if Baker's really going to end up being the quarterback of the future. He's been bouncing around from Cleveland to Carolina. Now he's over here in Tampa Bay. But as long as he's doing what he needs to do, and they're behind him, let's see, man. Tampa Bay can they could possibly sneak into the playoffs some way somehow sneak. And I think if they do that this year, I mean, I think that's a good look. I think that's something that they can hang their hat on and look forward to. I don't think they had Super Bowl aspirations, but I think if they were somehow to squeak into the playoffs, they got aspirations, man. I think they can be all right. Um, Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 2-2 at the moment. Um, ugh, Jacksonville, probably a dark horse team. Dark horse team. Um, Predicates on the play of uh, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, yeah, predicates a lot on that. Um, then they have a decent defense. They've got some pieces around him that he can work with. Um, but I've watched a few of their games. They kind of seem just maybe a tad bit one dimensional at this moment. Um, Not to put anything down though, because Jacksonville made some noise, man. Jacksonville made some noise. Was that like a season ago, man? Where they almost could have almost beat Kansas City? Had Kansas City run for their money. So I mean, they're still a team that you gotta kind of look out for and watch, um, because you just never know. You just never know. But again, you know, possibly a dark horse team. Again, it predicates on that quarterback play, Trevor Lawrence, and what he can do. So let's just see. Let's just see. I don't. I think that they could, if they play well enough, they could get back to the playoffs. How far they go is just going to be determined on them how bad they want it. You got the Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams. Um, Seahawks. Gino, I'm glad Gino has kind of rejuvenated himself, taking over for Russell Wilson over there in Seattle. Um, I just don't see Seattle being a threat. I just don't. Um, I see them as a decent team, kind of mid-level, mid-level squad. They did make the playoffs, I believe they did last year. They could do it again. Um, but I just don't think it's just enough. I don't think it's just enough firepower over in Seattle right now to where they can actually make moves uh, deep into the playoffs. Los Angeles Rams, I don't have faith in them. Um, you know, to me, I feel like Matt Stafford is an injury away from probably retiring or quitting. Um, I'm not a big Rams fan as it is, but uh, I think Rams. I don't know. I don't know with them. They're 2-2. I kind of expect them to probably have a losing record by the end of the year. We'll see. Los Angeles Chargers, man. Look, Y'all got a damn good quarterback, man, Justin Herbert. I somewhat predicate a lot of their faults on their coach. I think Los Angeles has, I think they really definitively have a squad that can honestly compete, especially when you got Justin Herbert passing the ball. But I just think their coach is just very timid. Um, I don't think he really likes to take chances. I don't, yeah, he always just kind of seems like he's out of place. Um, and and I've always kind of liked the Chargers, man, from back in the day. You know, San Diego when he was in San Diego. I was just, I was just one of them teams, man. You want to see him do good. You want to see him do good. Um, so hopefully, man, Chargers can somehow get it together. I would love to see them back in the playoffs. I would love to see them as a threat at some point in time, but I don't know. I don't know. So that's why I just put them at the pretenders, um, the pretender slot, because I usually see the Chargers. It's like they hit that wall too, you know, can only go so far that they allowed to go. So we'll check and see how that goes. Washington Commanders. Look, they're a very surprising team. Even though they're 2-2. I think Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy has probably they have instilled another fire within their squad. That's another team, kind of like the Detroit Lions, that I see um, players actually want to play for that coach. Um, I don't feel like they have all of the necessary pieces to win. Sam Howell is doing a damn good job at quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be a quarterback for the future, um, but um, I see that this is, you always got that one team that's always going to come out and compete. You got that one squad that's always going to come out and compete every single game. They may not be the best team, but you know that if you bullshit, if you don't plan accordingly, that these guys can end up beating you some way, somehow. And that's how I feel about Washington. I don't feel like the Commanders can necessarily go all the way. I don't feel like that they can go deep. But I feel like that is a one team that if you don't game plan right, if you go into that game kind of lackluster, they go come up hit you in the mouth and they gonna kind of steal that game away from you. Look what happened to Philly. Philly almost lost that game. I was watching that game, and dude, they came all the way back, man. Washington came all the way back and tied the game up at the very last second of regulation. You know what I'm saying? Um, had Philly fans on their toes. Come on now. Philly almost had their first loss from the Washington Commanders, man. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? I gotta be for real, man. Definitely gotta be for real. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shout outs. A lot of shout out to Washington, man. A lot of shout out to Washington because that can be a team that can scare somebody. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go to our next team. Well, not our next team, but well, these teams.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game. What's
I had to drop that in there, man, because these next teams right here, I'm starting to wonder my damn self. Are these going to be playoff caliber teams? The number one, man, my biggest disappointment has to be my squad right now, Cincinnati Bengals. Um, but the only reason I say that I'm disappointed in these guys because I know that number one, none of the starters actually played in the preseason, which was bad because you're missing continuity. Number two, you've got Joe Burrow that is dealing with a bad calf injury. But I commend him for trying to fight through, trying to lead his team. As long as he says he feels healthy, that he can do it. Go do it. But you can see the little video, the little short that I made on YouTube. I did make it on TikTok as well. I'm just trying to figure out the answers, man. Tell me. I don't get to see a lot of the Bengals games because I'm here in Texas. But I try to keep up with the stats and everything like that, man. I'm live, live watching it on my phone whenever I can, during the Sunday whenever the game is going on. So, but somebody tell me, man. Somebody tell me. I don't. I think Joe is just having he's just having one of them seasons, man. Calf injury is probably not doing him justice. Probably hurt him. I just heard T. Higgins had a rib injury. He may be coming back, but you don't know. Um, you know, at this point in time, man, I feel like you just need to start feeding Joe. Feed Joe mix that ball, man. Feed Joe mix the ball, and you play off of that, man. And somehow try to get uh the ball down the field. I mean, you've got Jamar Chase, man. You've got Tyler Boyd. You've got some guys that you drafted, man, that can do some work. I don't know what Zach is calling. I don't know what kind of plays Zach is calling, but shit, when you got good, when you got beasts and you got good players on all around you, man, you got to feed. You got to feed everybody. You got to share the wealth and you got to give it and let guys work. So at this point in time, I am kind of disappointed in Cincinnati. They're 1-3. They're at the bottom of the AFC North, but I feel like that they can get it back. I feel like that they can um, turn it around. So I'm looking forward to hopefully by this next quarter, man, I can put them in a whole nother slot. Hopefully, I can put them in the contender spot, but we will see. I'm not going to dwell on that too long. I know it's my squad, but still. Come on, baby. Who they? Let's go. Second, another disappointment is New York Jets. The reason I put the New York Jets is with the injury that happened to Aaron Rodgers. I think that kind of affected a lot of people. I, for myself, was one of those people that did want to see Aaron Rodgers play this year. I was kind of amped up to see it. I didn't watch any of the Hard Knocks episodes, but I was kind of amped up to see Aaron Rodgers in the new uniform. And I wanted to see him within 4 plays, he's down and he's out for the season, torn ACL or torn Achilles. My bad. Um, Devastating. And then to hear all the imploding, somewhat might be imploding within the locker room, people not having faith in uh, Zach Wilson and stuff like that. Look, it's hard as hell to play in the NFL. Okay. You got to give the boy credit. He is still going out there and he's trying and he's doing whatever he could. And he almost beat Kansas City Sunday night. Almost beat Kansas City. And I did see some of those players actually consulting Zach, trying to tell him, keep your head up and everything like that. I mean, they're gonna go as far as that they can go at this point in time. It kind of sucks for a team that has so much aspiration, especially when you get a guy like Aaron Rodgers in your locker room, and this happens. This happens and it kind of just messes everything up. But um, they're just a team, man. It just it's they for the first time. I think I can honestly say you're just kind of interested to see, how this season is going to unfold for the New York Jets. So, only reason I put them as a disappointment is because with the loss of Aaron Rodgers and everything that's happened, it just seems like their whole season has just went downhill. And it just sucks because you want to actually see those guys do good. I was actually expecting to see the Jets somewhat compete in the AFC this season, but we quite possibly might not. So, we just got to get ready for that. I got the Denver Broncos here as well. Disappointment. I don't know if it is a rift between Russell Wilson and Coach Sean Payton. I don't know. I'm not putting my major guess in that. But Russell Wilson is not the same Russell Wilson that we've seen in Seattle. He's not. Whatever has been happening in Denver, um, you know, I my hands go up. My hands go up. I mean, it's I don't know. But they did finally pull off their first win. Um, some way, somehow, and they did it against the Chicago Bears. They was actually losing that game, but they somehow came back and won that game. So that shows some type of resiliency. Um, I don't want to blame it all on Russ. I just don't. I don't want to blame it all on Russ. I think it has to deal with all the pieces to the pie. Everything that he has around. I mean, he can only do so much. Understand a quarterback can only do so much with the pieces that are provided to him. If you got guys that can't catch the ball, then he can't throw it. If you got a running back who can't get yards, then he has to throw it to these guys who can't catch the ball. And then you just sit there looking dumb. Man. Everybody wants to put the blame on the quarterback. Quarterback can only do so much. Quarterback doesn't play defense. So when your defense is giving up points and points and points, and you expecting the quarterback to come back, I mean, shit, you got to get on defense. You can't get on the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but yeah, whatever's going on over there in that Rocky Mountain area with those Denver Broncos is beyond me. So maybe they find it out. But it is disappointing to see all of that go about. Las Vegas Raiders, another disappointment to me. I don't know necessarily. They're 1-3, but I don't know if David Carr was the answer. I call David Carr. Yeah. I don't know if Carr was the answer. I think and who did they get? Garoppolo? Now Jimmy G, who looked like he was going to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Now he's down there in Las Vegas. It looks kind of bad. You gotta feed your boy the ball, man. You gotta feed your boy the ball. What's my man? Wide receiver for the Raiders. Damn it, I know his name is right on the tip of my tongue. Apologize, homie. Devontae Adams. Gotta feed him the ball. I don't know. They got Josh Jacobs back for like a whole another year, but you gotta somehow figure that out. You gotta somehow figure that out. I don't know. I don't even know if it may just be the coach, man. That coach may just be more suitable for being a coordinator than being a head coach. He had all those years under Bill Belichick in New England. Then he gets his head coaching job, and it shows the stripes. It shows the real stripes of what they know. So we'll see. We'll see with Las Vegas. Minnesota's another disappointing team. Damn, man. Because I like Kirk. I like Jay Jettis. I like them boys, man. I like them guys. Kirk is a good dude. Kirk is a real good dude. Um, it's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. Um, something has to happen. Something has to happen, man. They got to get over this hump, man. They started off 0-3 and just won their first game last week. I think they can somehow. I think Minnesota can somewhat turn it around. I think they have the potential to somewhat turn it around. But again, it Minnesota's another team that it really just derives on the quarterback play. Really derives on the quarterback play. Willie Kirk had a pick six, and it went 99 yards to Carolina. But they still came back and won it. So let's see, man. Let's see. All right. For my next group, it's just the same old, same old. And with that, we're gonna go here. I want to play this too.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
I just had to hear that one more time. Rest in peace to my man Danny Green. One of the good coaches out there, man. And with that, I'm saying the same old, same old. The guys the teams that are pretty much the same old right now. I don't see any of these teams doing anything special within this season. I think they're gonna probably be your middle of the pack guys that just try to make it and do whatever that they can. You see, I got the Green Bay Packers 2-2, just really This is Jordan Love's first year. Jordan Love's first year, him being the guy. You know, first with Brett Favre, then he had all those years behind Aaron Rodgers, and now he's the guy with the strings. So they're 2-2, 2-2. So he's got two under his belt. But you know, you just gotta give time. You gotta give time for guys like that, man. They finally get themselves, acclimated, and they are the guy, that the offense predicates on. So I don't see the Packers really doing too much. Um, like I said, middle of the pack. They'll win some games, but no playoffs for me. None of these teams I don't believe in playoffs. Atlanta Falcons. Um, what up, Big Bo? I know he's a big Falcons fan out there. Falcons, man. I don't know. I do like Bijan Robinson. I do like you can do Kyle Pitts, which if you guys trade, that's pretty dumb. Um, they got some pieces, man. They got some pieces that they can build. Your quarterback play, quarterback play. Uh, is Ritter gonna be your guy? I think it's the biggest question mark right now. I don't think you guys really know. So I feel like Atlanta is going to be another middle of the pack. It's going to be another rebuild somewhat type year. They're going to try, but they're not going to get too far. You got New Orleans Saints, same thing. David Carr is now the quarterback for the Saints, but what are the Saints necessarily going to do? I think they are what they're 2-2, 2-2. Um, could they? Could they make a maybe? Maybe they can make a move. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Um, Again, predicates on the quarterback play. If you notice, a lot of these teams it just predicates on the quarterback play. How well the quarterback is going to play for this season, and you really can't hang your head on it. You really can't hang your head. You got the Arizona Cardinals. They pulled out that win against the Cowboys, but are we really thinking about the Cardinals like that? Let's just be for real. I don't think anybody is scared of them, even if they have Kyler Murray in the backfield. Just don't see it, man. Just don't see it. New York Giants. I know they made a splash last year, but with Saquon being hurt, probably another week, 2 weeks at this point, and then giving Danny Dimes all of that money. I don't see nothing else, man. I just don't see nothing else with the Giants. Uh, Same old squad, man. Same old squad. Uh, Carolina Panthers. They are. Did they not win? They did. They own 4 right now, which is to be expected. You got new quarterback Bryce Young. My only issue with Carolina, um, I'm just kind of scared because Bryce Young looks very small out there, and you know, something about those small guys, man. You just kind of get worried. One hit and knock their ass out. You know, but as long as he can get the ball out quick, do what he needs to do. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, um, I would like to see Bryce Young help those guys turn it around, help Carolina turn it around. But we don't know. We don't know. We'll see on down the line. And then definitely same old Chicago Bears. Yo, is it Jay Fields' fault? Is it quarterback? Is it coaching? Or I don't know, man. To be a Bears fan right now would suck. Would suck. I think that's probably like the one fan base, man. I can see them just going on hellified rants because that shit just don't make sense right now. And I like Jay Fields, man. I like Justin Fields. Uh, I can, I somewhat kind of believe he kind of, he just put in the wrong position, man. Put in the wrong position. Wrong coaches around him and stuff. People not really utilizing him to the best of his abilities. But he's gonna try, man. And like I said, they were up. They were up. They was about to win their first game against the Broncos, and somehow the defense gave it up. So what the hell, man? At that point in time, it's like it sucks. Um, with that being said, the last few teams, man, are the teams that I'm kind of going to be watching on the outside in the bubble. Um, simply because any one of these teams to me, I feel like can not only be a dark horse, but can possibly ruin somebody's um, playoff hopes and dreams. You just got those hand group of teams that you just gotta be wary of. New England, New England Patriots. You can't never count out a Bill Belichick coach team. You can never do that. I don't care what their record is. Can't never count them out. I mean, it's a strategic genius. You know. Um, Shout out to the Cowboys, man. Cowboys gave them, ass whooping this last Sunday, but that doesn't happen very often. So let's see if Mac Jones can get better with his passing and stuff like that. But um, anything Bill Belichick does, man, just shit, you pay attention. So, you know, uh, New England can do something, man, that'll piss you off, man, at the end of the season, kind of knock you out of the playoff contention. So, we'll look. I got Pittsburgh, I got Cleveland, both of those teams in the AFC North. I have to especially watch those guys because they're in the same division as the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, I need Cincinnati to beat those guys. I know Cleveland already got one on us. Um, I believe. No, since he played Baltimore, they hadn't played Pittsburgh yet. Pittsburgh has to worry about Kenny Pickett and what he's gonna do, and how is that gonna go? Hopefully Mike Tomlin can put that together. Um, is he gonna be your necessary future? I'm not saying that he's bad, but they saying he ain't the best. So we'll see though. Um, Cleveland as well. All that money to Deshaun Watson, he just got hurt. Um, you know, but ain't nobody really scared of Cleveland, man. They somehow seem to have Cincinnati's number. But I guess when you're being a one-dimensional offense, that's the kind of things that happen. Um, but Cleveland can make noise. I feel like Cleveland can make some noise. Um, they've been slow grinding, trying to make a contender of a team. But they always tend to fall short. So I'm not too much scared of Cleveland. Indianapolis Colts. I don't expect them to go to no playoffs or nothing like that. But I feel like that is a team that can somehow ruin somebody's playoff hopes and dreams in a win down there late in the season. Anthony Richardson, he's shown some promise. He's definitely shown some promise. What they're gonna do with the running back, uh, what's it, Turner, JT? I'm not sure. They got to figure it out soon. Gotta figure it out soon. You got the Houston Texans. One thing I will say about the Houston Texans, CJ Stroud throws the shit out that ball. One hell of a good quarterback. I think you put some pieces around him and you just continue to building. Houston, you might have something. You might have something, a diamond in the rough. I think as he grows older and gets more and more into the scheme of things in the NFL, the CJ Stroud could be um, a nice acquisition, a nice quarterback. Hopefully that franchise doesn't do the same thing that they did to Sean. Um, and if CJ decides he wants to leave, I'm sure somebody will pick him up, man. But he can go somewhere that he can probably do some damage. But we'll see. Tennessee Titans. Um, Not a real big fan of Tannehill. Uh, got respect for Derrick Henry. They just beat Cincinnati 27-3. Look, Tennessee can be another team, man. Can crush some hopes and dreams. Hell, they just did it to us last week. Uh, I really thought that Cincinnati would be 2-2. But shit, I guess I was wrong. And shit, even Derrick Henry had a passing touchdown too. You know. But this is the type of things that happen, man, in the NFL. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know how it's gonna end up. Every team comes with their game plan, expecting to beat another team. You can always sit here and think, well, this team should be beating this team should be beating this team, and then we're all surprised in shock when it doesn't happen, when our prediction doesn't happen. But that is the nature and that is the beauty of the NFL, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, Shit, man, it's favorite time of the year, man. Favorite time of the year. With that being said, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, man, who's hot and who's not here in the first quarter of the NFL? Like I said, just the first 4 weeks. Okay, we'll come back to this in the second quarter when we've gone through the next 4 weeks. We'll see where these teams are. You know, I'm sure there's going to be some changes and things like that. Some teams will be still contenders. Some may drop to pretenders. Pretenders may move on up to contenders. Hopefully, some of my disappointments. Hopefully, Cincinnati. You know, some of these disappointments they come on up and move on up. Will the same olds not be the same olds anymore? You know, we'll see. And of course, like I said, man, I got the guys that I'm watching, the teams that I'm watching, man. Let's just see, you know, how everything goes out. But that's what you gotta love about NFL football, because you don't know what's gonna happen week to week. So that's why we stay in tune, man. That's why we stay tuned. That's why we look. Make sure, man, if you guys are sitting there, you know, root for your team, man. Root for your team and do good with your team. You got to stop all these fights. You got to stop all these fights that we have in the stands and stuff like that. I think one just became fatal not too long ago, man. It's not ever something to risk your life over. Okay, you root for who you root for, man. But y'all just be fans, man. It ain't got to get physical, man. Just love who you love, but it just ain't got to be physical. I understand. I've been there. You know, once you get a little alcohol and stuff involved, you know, a lot of shit can pop off. Man, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill, man. Just be a fan, enjoy the game, and make sure everybody get home safe. Because people got lives, people got wives, kids, aunts, uncles, mothers, fathers, you know, sisters, brothers. They got people that they want to go home to, and they were just out to enjoy a game. And next thing you know, they in the hospital and they losing their life, you know, because somebody wants to start shit and pop off. So please, you guys got to be out there and be safe when you guys out there rooting for your squad. As always, before I leave, I always tell you guys, if you suffer from mental health, please seek help. I always drop the number right there in the National Mental Health Hotline that you guys can always check out and call and figure out, man. I'm telling you, and I always say it all the time, man. Even though I've dealt with it, I somewhat still deal with it, but shoot, I get through it. It's cool to talk with friends and family and everything like that. They'll tell you a lot of things that you want to hear, but sometimes it helps that you talk to somebody that'll tell you what you need to hear. So if you need to seek some help, please do so. There's a million spots that you can go to locally. You people online, people on your app, everything that you can do, man. Please reach out, get the help, man, because mental health is important. I'm gonna be a big advocate on that, man, because you know you guys really need to take care of yourselves. All right, for myself, for BGSC Network, this is MCXP Radio, and I'm your host, man, the musicologist. I appreciate y'all for joining me, for tuning in, for logging in. I'm headed out. Y'all take it easy, man. Until next time, all right? Peace.
Dance on the beach or something, we can slide all night. Smoke a little weed or something, getting high all night. Got my brown on ice, and you looking right. In that see-through linen with that ass sitting right. You know how I do it, I'm a player for life. If I do lock it down, you know